Hi, today I'll be talking about Romanticism. Romanticism, also known as Romantic literature, is a genre of literature that was first seen in Europe in the early 18th century. The movement ended around 1850, but Romantic literature can still be seen worldwide today. Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher is an example of Romantic literature. Some characteristics of this genre include a focus on emotions. Strong feelings are described in all forms: romantic, love, fear, sorrow, loneliness, and more. A focus on imagination. As readers, we often experience the narrator's vivid imagination when reading romantic literature. A fascination with the supernatural. There is an explored contrast between life and death. Gothic motifs such as manor houses in disrepair and dark and stormy nights. A focus on the individual. Romantic writers turned inward, valuing the individual experience. And lastly, an emphasis on nature. Nature is a powerful symbol in this movement and is described vividly. Authors identified with Romanticism: Mary Shelley, Victor Hugo, Edgar Allan Poe, Nathaniel Hawthorne, and Jane Austen. Edgar Allan Poe. Although Edgar Allan Poe is most famous for his Gothic works, he wrote a number of romantic short stories as well. Poe combines Gothic and Romantic styles to create dark Romanticism. He utilized Romanticism characteristics like nature-human connection, characters with vivid and wild imaginations, and the supernatural. All of these examples can be found in his short story, The Fall of the House of Usher. The Fall of the House of Usher. Why is it romantic? The short story starts off with a lengthy description of the narrator's view of the house. He describes in detail the landscape in front of the mansion and the building itself. With these descriptions, he creates an eerie and uncomfortable atmosphere. The reader constantly has access to the narrator's thoughts and imagination. His imagination is creative and vast. Although we don't have access to Usher's thoughts, it's clear that he is overwhelmed by his imagination and the voices in his head. Madeline is the supernatural factor in this story. She has the characteristics of a ghost when she's coming for Usher. She's also buried alive, placed in a tomb under the house, and somehow manages to get free. Romantic literature isn't always what it sounds like. The Fall of the House of Usher is a great example of how dark and spooky Romanticism can become. Thanks.